My child, before the sun is fully up, I see you. I see the moment your eyes open and your mind is already moving faster than your body. Before your feet touch the ground, your thoughts have already gone into tomorrow. Bills, deadlines, expectations, a conversation you are avoiding, a decision you don't know how to make. And suddenly, your chest feels tight, as if everything depends on you. My child, why are you carrying tomorrow before today has even begun? Why are you holding weight I never asked you to carry? You reach for your phone, but what you are really reaching for is control. Control over outcomes, control over people, control over situations, control over a future you were never meant to manage. And when you don't feel in control, your peace begins to disappear. Listen to me carefully. You were never created to live like everything depends on you. Never. And yet, this is exactly how you have been living. You pray to me, but then you walk into your day as if I am not involved in it. You call me Father, but you carry life like an orphan. This is why your soul feels tired, not because you are weak, but because you are trying to do a job that only I can do. You are trying to hold together what I already hold. You are trying to secure a future that I have already seen. You are trying to protect yourself from things that must pass through me first. So hear me clearly today. Stop living like everything depends on you, because it doesn't. Look at the birds. They do not wake up in panic. Look at the sky. It does not collapse because you didn't control it. Look at your own life. How many times have you survived things you thought would break you? And who carried you through those moments? It was me. It has always been me. And still, you keep taking the weight back. You say, God, I trust you. But then you hold on tighter. My child, trust is not what you say. It is what you release. When I said, seek first the kingdom, I was not giving you a religious task. I was giving you a way to live without being crushed by life. Because when you do not put me first, something else will take my place. Fear will sit on the throne. Pressure will sit on the throne. Other people's opinions will sit on the throne. The future will sit on the throne. And once that happens, your peace becomes unstable. One message can ruin your mood. One delay can steal your joy. One small problem can feel like everything is falling apart. Not because life is too heavy, but because something smaller than me has become too important in your heart. My child, you were never meant to be ruled by everything around you. You were meant to be anchored in me. You are exhausting your soul fighting a future that has not even happened. How many times will you suffer over something that may never come? Come back. Not to control, but to trust. Putting me first is not about doing more. It is about carrying less. It is about surrendering the false burden of control. You think peace will come when everything is figured out. But peace comes when you stop trying to figure everything out alone. So let me ask you, what are you holding right now that is making your heart heavy? Is it your future? A decision you're afraid to make? Someone you are afraid to lose? Pressure to become something quickly? Bring it to me. Not later. Now. Because you keep waiting for the right moment to trust me, But trust is not a moment. It is a decision. A decision to say, God, this is yours. Even when you don't understand, even when it feels uncomfortable, even when nothing seems to change. Because I am working, even when you cannot see it. My child, look at how quickly your emotions try to control you. One moment you feel strong, the next moment you feel uncertain, and you begin to believe that your feelings define reality. But they don't. Your feelings are real, but they are not your master. I am. You do not need to react to everything you feel. You do not need to fix everything immediately. You do not need to understand everything right now. You need to trust me. My child, trust me. Even here, even in the moments where your heart feels uncertain, where your thoughts feel loud, where nothing feels fully clear. Because this is where your faith becomes real. Not when everything is easy, but when you choose me in the middle of the noise. Even in your relationships. Why does your peace depend so much on what others do? Why does your heart rise and fall based on someone else's response? A message comes late and your mind begins to imagine distance. A tone changes and suddenly you feel unsure. Silence appears and it feels like rejection. My child, why does their behavior decide your inner stability? Because somewhere, without realizing it, you made them too important. You placed them in a position only I was meant to hold. You looked to them for reassurance, for identity, for a sense of being enough. And when they change, your peace begins to shake. But listen to me carefully. People are not stable foundations. They change, they struggle, they fail. But I do not. I do not change. I do not withdraw. I do not leave you guessing about your worth. When I am first, you can love people without depending on them to hold you together. You can care deeply without losing yourself. You can feel without being controlled by every shift. Because your identity is not in them. It is in me. You are not defined by who stays. You are not defined by who leaves. You are not defined by who understands you or who doesn't. You are defined by me. And when that becomes real, love becomes lighter, not weaker, but freer. You stop chasing what is already secure. You stop holding tightly out of fear. You stop building your life on things that can change. And your heart becomes steady. Now listen, the place you struggle the most is when life does not change. The delay, the unanswered prayer, the situation you cannot control. This is where your thoughts become louder. This is where you try harder. This is where you begin to believe, if I don't fix this, everything will fall apart. But my child, some things in your life were never meant to be controlled by you. They were meant to be trusted with me. And I know this is difficult. Because here, you cannot rely on your strength. You cannot rely on your plans. You cannot rely on certainty. All you have is me. And that is enough. Because peace does not come from things working out perfectly. It comes from knowing I am with you. So release it. The fear, release it. The pressure, release it. The need to control everything, release it. Give it back to me. Not once, but every time it returns. Because it will try to return. And each time, you choose to let go again. That is how your soul becomes free. My child, you are not the one holding your life together. I am. You are not the one controlling every outcome. I am. You are not the one who sees tomorrow clearly. I do. Nothing in your life is outside my hands. Nothing you are afraid of is beyond my control. So why are you living like everything depends on you? Come back. Seek me first. When you wake up, when fear begins to speak, when your heart feels heavy, when decisions feel overwhelming, seek me first, and everything else will find its place. My child, you don't have to carry this life alone. You don't have to be your own keeper. You don't have to hold everything together. Just come to me and let me be God. Because it never depended on you. It always depended on me.